Mythra was literally my most wanted character for Smash Ultimate. For the longest time I thought Rex and Elma were the only possible Xenoblade reps, which is why I supported them instead of her. So you can probably imagine my surprise and excitement when both Pyra and Mythra got in on their own. But enough fanboying, time to give you guys what you came for, the moveset analysis. Today we're gonna analyze the Pyra and Mythra reveal trailer and try to get to know more about how this character will play. The first question I want to answer is what the difference between Pyra and Mythra will be. They do have different specials, but seem to have the same, or at least pretty similar, aerials, tilts and smash attacks. I might be reading too much into things, but I think the line with serious firepower and blinding speed will describe both of them perfectly. The way I see it, Pyra's attack will have more knockback or damage, making them better for finishing off opponents, while Mythra's attacks will have less knockback or damage and possibly more speed, giving them more combo potential. Keep in mind this is mostly speculation on my part, but I'm confident I'm at least partially spot on, as you'll see later. Now let's look at their specific moves, and immediately one thing becomes clear. The range of their attacks is ridiculous. Pyra's neutral B is Flame Nova, an attack that hits multiple times around her and finishes with one final hitbox that launches her opponents. Whether this move can be charged for how long you want or just has a lot of startup isn't exactly clear yet. Prominence Revolt is probably her up B. Just like Ike, Chrom, Kirby or Incineroar, it seems to be an attack where the character leaps upwards, only to come back down again with an attack. Since none of her other specials seem to give her any kind of forward momentum, her recovery will probably be the main weakness of Pyra. Her side B is Blazing End. It looks like you're able to move while the sword is thrown, but it likely won't amount to much since you probably can't follow up until you grab your sword back. Now onto Mythra. Her neutral B is Lightning Buster. Just like Pyra's, it's unclear whether or not the long charge at the beginning is necessary. Her side B is Photon Edge. It looks like it will act like a version of Sephiroth's up B that only goes forwards. She might also be invincible during the move, or she'll be harder to hit at least. Her up B, Ray of Punishment, consists out of a slash to send her opponent upwards, followed up by Mythra shooting a beam of light out of her swords. Immediately afterwards in the trailer she uses Chroma Dust, her level 2 special in Torn of the Golden Country. This might be what her up B looks like while she's in the air, and the fact that she seems to go into her freefall animation after using it only further supports that. If this is the case, that only further shows how this character's main weakness seems to be her recovery. But Mythra might at least be able to use its side B to get back to the stage. Both characters down B is definitely the swapping between each other. Now you might be wondering, what move is Mythra's foresight then? To some people this might look like a counter, but if you look closely you can see that she uses it to dodge attacks by going backwards or towards her opponents, almost like she's rolling. The way I see it, it can either be something purely aesthetic that appears when you dodge and will serve no purpose, or it can act alike to Bayonetta's Bat Within and increase the window Mythra's invulnerable while rolling. The fact that Mythra is able to roll behind Wolf and jump away from him while he's using his down smash makes me think that my second theory is the more likely one. Now onto the normal attacks. Her forward tilt is a horizontal slash in front of her. With Pyra at least, it seems to take some time to come out, but will most likely be a decent kill option at high percents. Here Mythra uses her down tilt and can almost immediately follow up with an up air. The fact that one of the only strings of moves they showed in this entire trailer was with Mythra just makes me believe more in my theory that she will be the more combo oriented of the two. Anyway, I think it's safe to assume that this move is gonna be the main combo starter of this character. For her up tilt, she swings her sword in a huge arc covering a lot of space above her. It's not quite Sephiroth range, but it's cutting it pretty close. For Pyra's Nair, she spins her sword around. This might look similar to Nairs like Palutena or Byleth, but an important difference is the fact that this move only hits a single opponent once. Still, it seems to have decent knockback with Pyra. Her forward air covers a decent amount of range in front of her. The swing doesn't go all the way up and it doesn't seem quite as spammable as something like Shulk Sphere, but it still looks like a good option to launch her opponents. It's pretty hard to see, but after Pyra used her Nair in the trailer, she quickly turned around and used her back air. It seems to cover way more range than her fair, but will most likely leave her open after using it. As said before, up air seems to combo out of a down tilt with Mythra. Note how it comes out really fast here. Now here's Pyra using her up air. Doesn't it seem a bit slower? I believe this might be because of the fire effects. Anyone who plays a lot of Roy and Chrom might be able to tell you that Chrom's attacks can sometimes feel faster than Roy's, despite both of their attacks supposedly being the same speed. This is because the game puts more of an emphasis on Roy's moves whenever they hit, but both Roy and his opponent won't be able to act during that very short period, which is why it doesn't make a difference in terms of frame data. This also seems to be the case with Pyra's moves. Her dare is pretty much a down-angled, airborne version of her up tilt, similar to Marth's down air. When we see Mythra land this move, she can easily follow it up with a grab, so it could be alike to Shulk's snare in the sense that it has a lot of combo potential at lower percents. Next is the forward smash, or as Pyra likes to call it, smash flare. Its startup speed seems identical to Hero's forward smash, but the range is way bigger. Later on in the footage, Mythra uses this attack as well, and when you directly compare the two, Mythra seems way faster. Although this might be because Pyra slightly charged her attack and because of the fire particle effects. Here Mythra uses her up smash to break the smash ball, and the range looks almost disappointing. It looks like its cover is less space than the up tilt, so I can only assume it has the attack power to make up for it. For the down smash, Pyra swings her sword in one direction, kicks in the other, and then spins around. While we see Mythra grab and throw someone out of a neutral air, there's not much to say yet. The range seems to be pretty average, and since the back throw was used at what I assume to be a low percentage, it's hard to say whether or not this will be a kill move. And last but not least, their final smashes, Burning Sword and Sacred Arrow. Both start with Rex appearing to make a slash, and anyone getting hit by that attack will then proceed to enter a cutscene where they get hit by the final smash itself. What's interesting is that in the middle of the cutscene, the attack continues into the game itself, which means that opponents that dodge the first hit can still get hit by the rest of the attack. And that's all there was in the trailer. Sure, there were some taunts and a reference to the Turtle scene, which I really liked, but aside from that, this is all there was to analyze. How good do I think these characters are going to be? No idea! It's definitely too early to say how high or low these characters are going to be on the tier list for now. What I can say is that Pyra and Mythra look really fun to play as. And despite how good or bad they'll be, I will main them alongside Shulk. Well then, if there was anything I missed or looked over, feel free to tell me in the comments. Press that subscribe button if you want to see more Xenoblade or Fire Emblem content, and I'll see you guys in my next video. This has been Banana Max, signing out.